Good morning, my dear student. On the behalf of KTGM College, Nasik and Department of Chemistry of this college, I am Dr. S.R. Labde, welcomes you to the lecture on coulometric method of analysis. Student, in previous lecture we discussed the control potential coulometry, instrumentation of control potential coulometry, working of control potential coulometry, applications of control potential coulometry. Now, in this lecture we discuss amphorostatic coulometry or control current coulometry, or it is also called as coulometric titration. Coulometric titration, that is a secondary coulometric analysis or assay. In this case, an electricity of constant current is pass through the analyte solution until the reaction is just completed. As this technique is called as coulometric titration because it is analogous to traditional titrimetric method of analysis. In titrimetric method of analysis, we are adding standard solution into the analyte solution until the reaction is just completed. In that case, the completion of reaction is detected by indicator or sometime reagent itself. Therefore, here this type of technique is exactly analogous to the titrimetric method of analysis, and here in this technique reagent is a electrons and standard solution is the constant current of known magnitude. Therefore, in this technique, electrons are added in an analyte solution through a constant current of known magnitude, and a redox reaction is carried out, and during this, whatever the electric charge is required for this purpose is determined by this technique. Therefore, it is a secondary coulometric assay. In this technique, reagent is electron, standard solution is a constant current of known magnitude, and here volume of solution, standard solution is the time required for completion of reaction. Therefore, here all these factors are known, and from which we can determine the quantity of electricity, and which we can correlate with determination of concentration of analyte by means of Faraday's law of electrolysis. Student, now we discuss how this technique actually performs. In this technique, or in both technique, that is a primary coulometric assay as well as secondary coulometric assay, or control potential coulometry or control current coulometry. In both technique, an essential condition that the reaction should be proceed according to a reduction process. There should not be any side reaction. Therefore, all redox reaction that should be proceed with 100% current efficiency, and if 100% current efficiency is not achieved in both type of determination, then we are unable to analyze that sample with a coulometric method of analysis. Therefore, in this case, in coulometric titration, when we carry out, suppose for example, when we carry out the titration of Fe second to Fe third, that is a oxidation, anodic oxidation of Fe2 plus. In this case, when we carry out this reaction at a constant, current, but initially when concentration of Fe2 plus ions are more, at that time we can easily maintain the magnitude of current to constant value. But as Fe2 plus ions are decreases, there is requirement of excess potential to maintain that electrode to the constant current. And therefore, when potential is increased, when potential of working electrode is increased or is increases, at that time what happens? Electrolysis of water takes place. That means here it gives twice H plus 4H plus 4 electron plus O2 gas. Now all these redox reaction or electrochemical reactions are reversible. Therefore, here electrolysis of water will be takes place. At that time some electrical charge is required or utilized for this electrolysis process, and the amount of electric charge found to be more than it is required for a main redox reaction. Therefore, here current efficiency found to be less than 100. Therefore, as electrolysis process of water takes place along with the oxidation of Fe2 plus, then we can say that current efficiency decreases. In order to nullify this difficulty, we can use another reagent that is called as auxiliary reagent. A auxiliary reagent is used in coulometric titration. For example, if we carry out the anodic oxidation of ions second, then the reaction is like this. This is anodic oxidation. As we discuss here that as the concentration of Fe2 plus ion decreases, there is requirement of extra potential to maintain a current value to a fixed magnitude. And therefore, here when we increase the potential, electrolysis of water takes place, that is 4H plus 4 electron plus O2, and that liberates a oxygen. To avoid this reaction, this side reaction, we can avoid by using a auxiliary reagent. Suppose for example, here if we add excess of cerium 3 plus ion along with Fe2 plus ion, and if we electrolytically oxidize this cerium to cerium 4 plus, then we can have electrochemical oxidation. Then here the liberated cerium 4 plus ion easily reacts with Fe2 plus ion as an analyte, here analyte, and here this is reagent electrolytically generated, and here it gives the product Fe third plus cerium third. That means here net redox reaction is carried out without efforts at a constant current value. Therefore, here we can use a reagent, auxiliary reagent, here cerium 3 plus as an auxiliary reagent for determination of ion second. Here auxiliary reagent, initially it is converted to another form, which is a form which can easily react with the analyte. As it easily reacts the analyte, then after completion of reaction, excess of cerium 4 plus ion present in the solution increases current, and that indicates reaction is completed. Therefore, cerium 4 plus ion thus generated after equivalence point is functioning as an indicator in this reaction, because that tells us reaction is completed. Therefore, here auxiliary reagent is used in order to achieve 100% current efficiency. Therefore, titration of IR second as an IR analyte with 100% current efficiency is carried out by adding excess of cerium 3 plus ion, which are electrolytically initially oxidized to cerium 4 plus, which are easily reacts with analyte. And here, whatever the current required to generate this much amount of cerium 4 plus ion, that is proportional to the amount of ion second present in the solution. Therefore, by means of Faraday's law of electrolysis, we can determine the concentration of this ion second present in the solution. Student, now we discuss the instrumentation of this control potential coulometric assay. Student, now we discuss the instrumentation of control current coulometric assay or amperostatic coulometry. It is also called as coulometric titration. Now here, as it is named as a coulometric titration, but it is performed by using a electrolysis cell. Therefore, similar to control potential coulometric assay, here coulometric titration is also require a electrolysis cell. This electrolysis cell consisting of a glass vessel in which a working electrode, or it is also called as generator electrode, is placed, and another auxiliary electrode is also placed. Now this is the electrolysis cell which is used for, here this is a analyte solution, this is magnetic stirrer, analyte solution, this is a auxiliary electrode, and here it is a electrolyte solution. These two solutions are separated by means of this sintered glass disc. This another electrode is called as working electrode, or it is called as a generating electrode, working electrode or generating electrode. Now these two electrodes are connected to constant current source. This is the apparatus that is used in the coulometric titration. This is nothing but a electrolysis cell. This electrolysis cell consisting of two electrode. Out of that, one is one working electrode. It is also called as generating electrode. Another is auxiliary electrode. Both electrodes are placed in an analyte solution. Here, this electrolysis vessel is placed on a magnetic stirrer in order to nullify the convection effect. Now here, this is the instrumentation. Here, in this case, the working electrode, generally called as generating electrode, is made up of platinum. Generally, a gauze form electrode is also used sometime in order to increase the surface area or in order to decrease the polarization effect. Therefore, here working electrode or generating electrode is made up of platinum, or generally it is in gauze form. Similarly, auxiliary electrode is also made up of a platinum, but it is in wire form. It is only for electrical contact or to complete the circuit. Now here sometime analyte solution may be placed in contact with auxiliary electrode, or sometime it may be taken into the electrolysis vessel depending upon the course of reaction. Therefore, here this auxiliary electrode is placed in a glass tube, and these two electrolyte solutions are separated by sintered glass or a porous partition. Now here this is the instrumentation of this control potential coulometry. Student, now we discuss how this technique work, amperostatic coulometry or a coulometric titration. With a suitable example we can explain this, and that is a application of determination of chloride by using a coulometric titration. Now chloride in biological fluid, biological fluids means blood, determination of chloride in biological fluids, and these biological fluids mainly consist of blood or blood serum or sometime urine or other biological fluid from which we can determine the chloride. Therefore, chloride at a trace level that can be easily determined by this coulometric titration. Now in this case, the sample solution is taken into this vessel. Therefore, chloride sample is taken into electrolysis cell, and it is diluted with solvent in order to dip the working electrode and auxiliary electrode. Therefore, initially the sample solution is added into the solvent, then a auxiliary electrode and working electrode are placed into this analyte solution. Now in this case, chloride are easily reacting with silver ion and gives the precipitate of silver chloride. This is a well-known argentometric reaction of determination of chloride utilized for determination of chloride at trace level. Similarly, in this technique, in coulometric titration, we can use electrolytically generated silver ion. Therefore, Ag plus ions are electrolytically generated. Therefore, as Ag plus ion generated on this working electrode, the generated Ag plus ion easily reacts with Cl minus ion, gives the precipitate of AgCl. And here, as this reaction is completed, as this precipitation reaction is completed, excess or extra silver ion increases the current, and that signals the completion of reaction. Therefore, as the generated reagent remains unreacted, that increases the current and signals the reaction is completed. In this case, the magnitude of current is known, and whatever the time required for up to equivalence point is known. Therefore, we can determine the quantity of electricity by using a magnitude of current and time, and we can correlate that quantity with Faraday's law of electrolysis for determination of concentration of substance. Now, student, this is all about the instrumentation as well as working of this control current coulometric assay, or it is also called as coulometric titration. In next lecture, we discuss another applications of this coulometric method, as well as we solve some numerical problems based on this coulometric analysis. Thank you very much and wish you all the best.